Well, good afternoon. It is so good to be with you. Thanks for inviting me into your home today for Drop the Mic on Thursday. And also appreciate Zach, who's behind the camera. You don't see him, but we certainly appreciate his skills and gifts and abilities and sweet spirit. There you go. So last time when we were together, I talked to you about a strategy of blessing your neighbors. And just as a brief review, we're going to move on from here, but as a brief review, remember the B of bless is to begin with prayer. The psalmist said it this way: unless the Lord builds the house, the builders labor in vain. And so I want to encourage you this week, as it's so nice outside. It's kind of springtime in Fort Myers. It's down from 95 to 90. How about that? But it gets us out of the house. A lot of us are walking our neighborhoods. A lot of us are just out walking and enjoying the beautiful place that God has given us. And so I want to encourage you to walk with a mission. As you walk by your neighbors' homes, pray over those homes. Pray that you would have an opportunity to impact the people inside. Begin with prayer. Pray for their family. Pray for this time in their life. Pray that God would be using you and using this time boldly in their world. So as you're walking by, begin with prayer, but then look for opportunities to engage them and listen to their story. It says that in James 1:19, it says, everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry. People love to talk if we give them the opportunity. I always loved the way my mom taught me this verse. She said, Mike, God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. Be quick to listen to someone and slow to speak. So take this opportunity to just listen to your neighbors, hear their story, hear where they're from, hear their hearts, their concerns. Listen to your neighbors. And then as it moves on from there, as I said last week, normally we would use the E of bless to eat together, but that's kind of hard to do unless you've got a 6-foot fork to share with. So in this time, I want to adapt the bless strategy to engage one another. It could be at the end of 6 feet on the driveway as you just set out some chairs and people come and sit down together, but just engage. Find out what's going on in the world. Just move beyond the hello, how are you, to what's your story, what's going on. Engage one another. Then the first S of bless is to serve. Now in this season, it might be more simple to serve than in others. Serving may be saying, hey, I'm going to the grocery store. I've already got my mask on. Is there anything I can pick up for you? Or it might be noticing that their lawn needs to be cut or something like that. Look for opportunities to just enter into their world and truly serve them. And finally, the last S of bless is to share your story of how Christ has profoundly affected your life. That's your testimony. Share your story. 1 Peter says it this way: always be prepared to give an answer to everyone who asks you, to give the reason for the hope that you have. But do this with gentleness and respect. So that's a bit of review, but you know, even as you think about the blessed strategy, it's kind of like, great, Mike, who do I do that with? Well, I want to move you to another strategy, another opportunity that God's given to us. There was a book that Dave Runyon and Jay Pathak came out with a few years ago called The Art of Neighboring. And in that, it is a wonderful strategy to engage people. But they make a really good point that G.K. Chesterton, way back around the turn of the 19th century, made as well. He said this: you choose your friends and you choose your enemies, but God chooses your neighbors. And so I want to think about that for just a quick moment. Think about the people that you have natural interaction with every day, the person across the street, the next door on either side. Think about those folks that God has sovereignly placed in your life where you can have an influence. Another way to think about that is God has placed us in our specific neighborhoods for a reason. And so I want to give you a little bit of homework. I want you to think about this a little bit. And if you go on our website, you can download this form, but you don't really need to. Think about a tic-tac-toe grid where you've got tic-tac-toe grid right there. I want you to think about who it is that's living by you. See the tic-tac-toe grid right in there? There's your house. Who lives right across the street? What are their names? What's their story? What's going on in their world? Who lives catty corner? Who lives beside you? Who lives directly behind you? If you live in a condo or an apartment, who lives above you? You can make a cube out of this. Think about the people that God has sovereignly placed for you to interact with every single day. Now, my homework for you, my assignment for you, is to literally fill this out. Just draw a tic-tac-toe grid on a piece of paper, put your house in the middle, and put the names there. Put John and Veronica. That's the folks who live right there in my house. Nobody lives here simply because it's an empty field. But I am working on filling this out for myself right now so that I can not only pray for that person, but I can pray for them by name. And I'm going to be praying that God will give me the opportunity to enter into their world, to get to know their story. As they say in the book, to move from a wave, hey, how you doing, neighbor? To a handshake, hey, my name is Mike. What's your name? To an embrace. How can I pray for you? And so I want to encourage you in this time, in this season, to take advantage of what God has given to us in beautiful weather, beautiful neighbors, beautiful neighborhoods, to engage. Find out their story and say, hey, do you know my Savior? Do you know Jesus the way that I know Jesus? And in that, I hope you're encouraged to bless them, to know them, to engage them, and to invite them. I hope to see you all very, very soon. Miss you so much around here at New Hope, but God's in control. We love Him. We love you.